What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Zaylee.
Yo,
This is episode number 4. It should be episode number 4. I think it is, at least. And today I have the most legendary guest that you guys could possibly imagine. The one, the only, the powerful, the great.
y'all hear him already.
Right. Number one. No one's gonna know that. No one's gonna know that.
Yeah, but y'all see him.
They're gonna slow it down and be like, "Oh,
See? You hear what he said? Right.
Everybody, this is Cross Robinson. Welcoming him into the Zaylee. I'm super excited to have you here, brother.
Yes, sir. I'm geek, man.
And so Cross is the third and final co-host. And yeah, man, me and Cross have been obviously friends for a super long time.
Yes.
So I am super excited to have him on the pod.
Yes.
And so Cross, I don't know if you want to introduce yourself or what.
Yeah,
but
man. Let me just go ahead and
let these folks know what it is.
Let's say a few quick things. First of all, my brother, thank you for having me here too. Like Isaiah said, we're college football teammates. This pretty much is my best friend, man. There's nobody really that I'm closer with, so I'm just honored to be on this show, man. And we're going to give it to y'all live, direct. We're going to come through with facts, man. And we're going to try to make this entertaining as well. So y'all stay tuned with us, rock with us. But, man, it's the first one. So let's do this thing, man.
It's the fourth one, but the first one for Cross.
Right.
Okay. Well, today we didn't necessarily have, a whole bunch of, long topics or whatever.
Right.
But, because of me, I'm always asking these overly complicated ass questions. And so the first question I'll have for you, and I just thought of this question randomly.
Yeah.
Well, first I will say this, and then maybe we can think of a question off of it. But me and Proctor, a couple episodes ago, we're talking about consciousness, right? And that maybe consciousness is uploaded to us from a single source, a source of consciousness.
Yep.
And so I started thinking, well, what else exists that's kind of already there, but we kind of need to find it in a way. And that to me was knowledge, right?
Yes.
Knowledge is kind of already there to some certain extent.
Great point.
Especially when it comes to like mathematics.
Yeah.
Mathematics is already there. We just need a way to be able to understand it.
Interpret it, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the ability to be able to fly or build an aircraft that can fly.
Right.
That already existed.
Yes.
But it took until, 1919 or whatever the first flight was to actually figure it out. But that always existed in our universe, forever, right? So I was thinking, so does knowledge already exist? We just have to study and unlock the neural pathway that allows us to gain that knowledge.
Wow.
Dive in.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I'll say is that depending on who you are, right, that role of knowledge or the way that it enacts for you changes. For the first person who invented flight, that knowledge of building that aircraft, they did have to go get that. They did have to download it from somewhere because before them, there was no pre-existing concept. So to them, they did have to use that storehouse of intelligence or that source of wisdom that you were referring to. After him, that knowledge, I would say after that information wasn't knowledge to the first person. It became knowledge after that person invented flight because now it's replicable, now it's tangible.
Right.
Other people now have that ability. So I will say that it's that information can be both knowledge and it can be taken from that place. It just depends on the situation and the time frame.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask it in a different way. So, like I said before, that I shouldn't say that knowledge, right? Or that ability already existed in our universe,
right,
to be able to fly.
Right.
But we had to find the person had to find the right neural pathway mentally to connect everything to figure out how to do it. The process of that pathway, is it kind of like looking for a treasure or a pot of gold or something is there's so many pathways that you can go in your brain of how to think and this and that.
Yeah.
And your brain is searching for an answer.
Right.
But where is it searching?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if your brain wasn't connected to some type of intelligence, right?
Which I believe is
or
true.
some type of knowledge base,
Right.
where is it searching? Right. So your brain figures out things, but it doesn't come from nowhere.
Exactly.
It comes from somewhere and it's able to put these connections. So I think my question is a little bit maybe unanswerable, obviously.
It's good to get theories about it. And
but like,
isn't that, on it. Yeah.
I don't know if that's interesting, and I don't know if I'm explaining exactly what I mean.
No, it is essentially what you're asking. The matrix that you're trying to speak on is that there's either something that influences each and every one of us that each and every one of us has to go to for our information. So there is a external source. This is why I say faith is required, because if you really think about thought itself, where does that come from? There has to be an originating spot for something. So basically what your question is to me is there something else to believe in? Is faith required, or do we do it all on our own? Now, on that type of a level, on that type of an argument, what Isaiah's, I guess, referring to maybe is neuroplasticity. That changes and that alters throughout your life. When we're younger, we're the most malleable, meaning we can have the most new pathways created in our brain. As we get older, that ability goes down. So I would say the brain probably uses its best in reference. Like, so for a topic that you don't know about, let's say you were trying to teach me engineering or mechanical engineering. Mm-hmm. That is going to be a different language to me. To me, that's going to be new knowledge, because there's going to be topics, words I've never heard of before. Right. But in that moment, using neuroplasticity, and I'm a young guy, my brain might have a better time learning that brand new topic than a 40-year-old would, because I'm still malleable in my brain. So I think,
of course. Yeah. And that's the process of how the brain works. I'm trying to get at this concept. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the process. That makes total sense. Yeah. There with you 100%. This is the part where once you meet me here, now I think it's going to get trippy. Mm-hmm. Is what I'm saying is, okay, we know that Jupiter exists, right? In this reality, you know, it's a 4-dimensional reality, but we live in 3 spatial dimensions, right? I know that if I travel this way or whatever, eventually, over time, I'm going to hit Jupiter. Yeah. Now, the required effort to be able to get there, to hit Jupiter, is tremendous, almost impossible. Right now at this stage. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. But it's there. We know it's there. It exists. Right? So, the concept of me going to Jupiter is very similar to a caveman trying to figure out, maybe not that far. Yeah. We say a person in the 1700s trying to figure out flight without the necessary steps building up to get there. So what I'm saying is, does knowledge exist in something like a spatial dimension? It's somewhere. Yeah. Like, knowledge is somewhere, and we're progressing through knowledge. Yeah. Just like it's something exists out there, we have to find we have to build the correct levels to be able to get to that place. But it exactly like, for instance, it exists, being able to teleport through something. It takes you to the quantum realm and then pops you up somewhere else, right? Yeah. Maybe that truly does exist somewhere. I believe it does. Yeah. Right. But it's so far out on our knowledge base. It's like going to Jupiter. Like, it's that level of hardness, but it's still there. It exists. In reality, it's there. Yeah. It's in the knowledge realm, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. So I'm way off. And I'm like way off far as like what I'm talking about. I'm in the sky. No, obviously, and I'm always in the sky. They know I'm always in the sky. But do you see, like, it's almost like reality bending to think of if knowledge has its own realm that we're working through. I wholeheartedly believe that. Okay. I wholeheartedly believe that. My dad has a saying that he always refers to is, he's not that smart. And again, me, obviously, you know, your boy Cross co-host, I'm a man of faith, so I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible, the word of God speaks about this. There is literally a spirit of intelligence, and the Bible refers to almost a storehouse of intelligence, and you get that information.
and those things through the Holy Spirit. But it definitely is. It literally is a storehouse. And the great book, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, he literally calls it a storehouse of intelligence. He's not necessarily Christian, but he still speaks to a place.
Interesting.
Or not even necessarily a place pretty much, where in his book, he explains how Satan and God both pull infinite knowledge from that place to pull people to, where they want to go. Now, do I agree with that sentiment? No, but that's just another example. Yes, it has to come from somewhere.
Interesting. What is that book called for the audience?
Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. It's a great book.
Outwitting you read it?
Yes, I read the whole thing.
Wow.
Yep. It's a great book.
Witting. Let me write it down like I'm going to read it.
Right.
No, I will. Like certain books like this, like it's interesting.
Yeah. But essentially it's Napoleon Hill's description of, Satan and his mechanisms to keep people in fear, even though he's not a Christian man. Now, reading that book as a Christian and seeing all those parallels was very great. But one of the main things, the main tactics that is used by Satan is pulling information from that infinite storehouse of intelligence. And
this is your belief, or this is also with the book?
No, this is in concurrence with the book.
This is in the book. Okay.
Essentially, what Napoleon Hill's argument is, or one of his greatest arguments in the book, is that Satan is so effective because that's all he does. He just pulls information from that infinite storehouse that me and you don't know or can't comprehend, or we're too human to deal with.
Yeah.
He breaks you down with that knowledge or fact, maybe about you or something else, and he comes in that moment of doubt and fear and gets you that way. So
pulling from that, the knowledge house of it. So it's like it's a realm that exists, and you can pull from it to like in wow, that is really fascinating, and it's great that you could tie in a book with that. That's impressive.
That's one of the greatest authors of our time. So you thinking like him. So that's a compliment to you, bro.
I don't know about that. BB was just in my room like, yo, like, what is this? Okay. I guess that is a pretty interesting topic. Mm-hmm. I guess, do you have anything anything further? But we can continue on. That's a really good.
I would say this. I have one theory concerning that.
Okay.
Weaponry. I believe all modern weaponry was used in the same way that Napoleon Hill described how Satan uses himself. I do not believe humans were supposed to have or have any knowledge of nuclear fission, combustion technology, guns. I don't think we were ever supposed to get to a point where we could
combustion technology. You don't think so?
I don't think so. No. And the only reason why I believe,
even like with cars and
not that. I mean,
you're talking about the negative applications or the positive applications?
The negative applications.
Just okay. I just wanted to clarify because I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we could think like nuclear fusion or nuclear fission.
Yeah.
Which is what Adam about like that. We use those and there could be positive aspects of it, but the negatives is what you're highlighting. Yes. Okay, I'm just making sure. I don't know, but okay, interesting. So go ahead.
No, that makes more sense. Yeah, thank you for that. But then I'll just say this. I'll recant my statement.
That would make total sense.
I would say that it was a very risky thing. Combustion technology was a very risky piece of intelligence to draw from that storehouse, because now, there's no way, I even think, this is just my opinion, a human would even think to, hey, what if I coil down a spring long enough and I have like a fire trigger action in the back of a sliding lock pin that if I slide it out in the perfect mechanism. That to me, that is supernatural knowledge that you have to be privy to. That has come with, now think about all that. We have wars now. Just like Isaiah said, we do have a lot of great technology that we rely on, but examples of that are when I'm like, okay, somebody was being spoken to from that place of intelligence. Right. That's crazy. So that's all the thing I have to say about it. But.
Yeah, no, I would. That's a very interesting viewpoint and good. And what you're highlighting there is that humans have the ability to take things and make them positive, or make them extremely negative,
absolutely,
extremely destructive,
yep.
And it really depends on the times, if we're in war, if not war, but because our system is so fractured, just from the entire past and leading up today, people have had wars for thousands of years.
Yep.
And so, we've kind of adapted to find ways to how can I kill this person faster?
Wow.
And with that, at the same time, how could I help this person faster?
Wow.
It's so that true, positive and negative.
Yeah.
But if we were living in a perfect system, right, we would probably only have the positive aspects of it, which would be amazing. Think about all the positives that like think about all the positive things that the military has given us.
Right.
How weird is that?
Yeah.
Like how weird is that? Far as like the things that we needed to create for the military ended up being used in civilian life. It's like actually positive applications. You're like, oh, it's actually cool. But it was used back in World War II to kill this person or be able to kill this person easier. Or sonar technology. And, there's a million different technologies. And I'm really trying to like rack my brain and think of them. But, and it's funny. It goes both ways, too, because the Wright brothers made the plane. Right.
See, there you go.
How many years? What was that? 1919? Yes. How many years later was that used in World War I? Couple.
Literally.
He was like, bro, we could fly. We could do so much. We could travel people here to here. And it's like, I'm going to kill you. 2 years from the air. I was killing you from the ground. Now I'm going to kill you from the air. like, bro.
That's real, though. That's straight up real, man. It definitely sucks. It's heartbreaking, but that's our nature, bro. We are dualistic in nature. But I'll say I will double down, especially after what you just said. I think any piece of information that extremely furthers us as a people, or there's an extreme drawback, or that concept or thing alone has the ability to do both. That's an example of somebody that you didn't think that up, bro. Somebody or something. I have an opinion about what it is. Drop down on you, bro, and made you build something or say something incredible. So no, you're right. And I think this is a perfect segue into AI technology and ChatGPT. And y'all know we were about to talk about it. Y'all know it was about to happen on the Zaylee, because I am a ChatGPT advocate. Let's get it. No, I actually just learning more about, and some people that I have talked to have a very fearful outlook on it. I don't. I'm not afraid of ChatGPT in the slightest. I think or ChatGPT or just AI technology progressing like it is in the slightest. I'm afraid of course, what humans are going to do with the technology. 100%. And I wanted to speak for a second on the internet. So when the internet was first created, people had this same sort of talking points when they talk about it's people are going to be able to do so much. They're going to be hacking the systems and this and that. And that's true. Yeah. People are able to hack in the system. People are able to do nefarious things with the internet. Yeah. Right. But we know how incredibly positive the internet has been in certain areas when it's used effectively. It has completely warped our understanding of reality, and it has allowed us to, there is, as far as chain management, businesses, everything you could possibly imagine has been affected by the internet. That's correct.
And in positive ways, leading to a boom and a growth, the internet boom, they call it, right?
That's true.
But now we see the internet with social media and how it's really just diving into the psyche of human beings and kind of turning people. And there's something that I actually wanted to speak on a little bit, and we'll probably wait a little second to speak on that. This will be really good across, but it's called the collective illusion. Oh yeah. And you probably know about it.
We'll speak on it. Yeah.
We'll speak on it. We'll speak on it. And I think this is a huge proponent to what's happening in our society. I don't think we are as divided as social media will tell us we are.
Correct.
But because we're watching social media so much, it is starting to actually divide us because we think our neighbors are some type of evil some type of evil, entity that's living next to us. But yeah, to say like there's that, like you said, and it's so beautiful. You said that there's that duality, and that makes so much sense. Internet, there's amazing applications, but it's also been used for horrible applications that you you couldn't even possibly imagine. Kill people and this and that. Wars, fight all computers.
Pornography, which I think is
pornography. That's an incredible one.
Horrific.
And the next iteration is AI technology. I think it's going to boom like the internet because some of the things. And have you been on ChatGPT?
No, I haven't. Can you actually like further explain what that even? Yeah.
So ChatGPT is an artificial technology or an artificial intelligence that is able to pull data. It has mass data and it's able to break down this data and speak to you, not speak, but type to you as if we're having a conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I pretend, if you ask me a question, if I ask, you ask ChatGPT a question like, hey, write me or what workout program should I do to help build muscle or something? It'll be like, okay, a workout program you should do to help you build muscles. Probably start off with a hypertrophy program. And then, do 3 sets of about 12 reps, really focus on contracting your muscle and then the eccentric portion of the lift. Yeah. And then combine it, blah, 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 blah. And then if you told ChatGPT, hey, make me a hypertrophy program similar to what you just described to me. Yeah. It'll say, okay. And it'll make you a program. It'll be like, Monday, do this, this, and this. Tuesday, you're going to do this, this, and this. Wednesday, you're going to do this, this, and this. Now, this is where it gets crazy. Yeah. So then you could tell ChatGPT, take that program, put it in a table format for me. Yeah. It'll put it in a table format.
Wow, bro.
And then you can ask it, ChatGPT, take this, put it in JavaScript, or write it in code in JavaScript so I can make it into an app. That would take a programmer hours, maybe days to do that.
Days.
ChatGPT, like that. Done. Wow. It's going to revolutionize coding. It's going to revolutionize ads. If I'm a marketer now, and this is actually another crazy part. You could tell ChatGPT something random. Write me an ad for a dancing monkey that performs in North Dakota. And it's like, this monkey started off with it and it will write an ad for you, bro. I've done it a million times. Yeah. It'll write an ad for you. Yeah. I can say, write me an ad about Cross Robinson. That was a football player at Drake University that, became a star, blah, 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 all this stuff, right?
See, yeah.
It'll do it, bro.
Bro, okay. Go ahead and finish.
No, I mean, that's all I have to say. And I guess what, to bring it back to the original point, if I had an original point, was it's going to revolutionize things when they let it loose. The issue is its negative applications, and we can probably speak on that, but go ahead, bro.
So I'll say I have a little bit of different opinion than you.
Okay, go ahead.
I am intimidated by AI. I'm actually very intimidated by it. To me, especially with everything that you just described, that is a blessing. That is overcold. That's overall. I'll go down this pathway first. What is stopping, or what would stop Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg or anybody for that matter to replace everybody's job with something like that? Because you can put that cognition into a bot. Now we have robots already, so you can put that cognition into a bot and have something that's walking around thinking and can pick items up and is stronger than you and can do literally is essentially a god in its cognition compared to you. That scares me. The second thing is, again, you can't trust what every man says, but somebody who I would assume is probably the most advanced or one of the most people that's most advanced in this topic, Elon Musk is terrified of it. Okay. And basically the reason I'll try to describe it as best as I can, his argument is that if AI decided, because it has this capability, if AI decided that it had a goal in mind for the planet Earth, let's just say that sentient, because that is a sentient technology to be able to just, or I'll say the most,
to a certain extent,
that's the most realistic, replicated sentient. I'll say it's not complete sentience, but it's replicated sentience. So if it creates this goal and it decides that humans would be in the way, but it decides that the planet is going to be a greater good because of it, we are just going to be a blot. We're just like in coding. We're going to be, why is that 7 there? There's not going to be any emotion involved. They're just going to eliminate what's in the way. So again, I know I'm a little conspiracy with it and sci-fi, but honestly, truthfully, bro.
No, but it's good to think like that, right? Like you gotta think of all the negative aspects.
And I will say with your thing, I'm not one of those people who are like, no, we shouldn't have it at all, because obviously it's done us great. But just like you said, human application that could be a risk, and then my fear comes from it more just being sentient on its own and doing what it decides. There's even just because you gave a great example, I'll give a great example.
Go ahead. This is good.
Even in video games. Now there's almost essentially adaptive AI to where you can play a boss fight for 10 times, die, and let's say you press circle 0.3 milliseconds before a certain attack. Well, it's gonna calculate that, and it's gonna start changing the speed or the timing in which it sends that attack. That is scary to me.
Yeah.
That is something that's not human, that can do a human analysis. And let's just say, worst case scenario, it turned into what's the movies? Terminator. That's creepy to me. What if let's just say somebody had
what is it? iRobot?
Yeah, iRobot.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
with Will Smith.
Yeah. Like picture that, right? And you have a robot in there that, let's just say you're a boxer, and your robot sits in a corner every day and watches you fight. For months, it's watched you fight. Your speed is calculating when you throw a jab, when you want to. When your foot is in a certain way, that means you're going to throw this certain punch. And one day it decides you are an annoyance or you are a hindrance to the apartment and you need to be eliminated. Well, what are you going to do? You have something that is way smarter than you, faster than you, stronger than you, that literally knows you better than you can time yourself. So again, I know I kind of went, with it there.
Keep going. I'm just writing down some follow-ups.
But no, that's it for me, man. That's my stance on it. But I definitely see that it's basically essentially needed. So I can't argue that we can't have it, but it's just creepy though.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean, you say things so eloquently, and that's awesome.
Appreciate you, bro.
One thing, I wrote this down so I can definitely have some like follow-ups for you here.
Yeah.
The one thing that people don't necessarily think about when it comes to AI is the ability to decide. So when everybody says, what if they decided this? What if they decided that? The thing is, they have to be programmed to be able to decide in such a way. And they have to be, because AI, it's just calculating what it's told to calculate, right? And if somebody programs it to calculate something, and if a human is in the way, destroy them. Okay, yes, it will destroy a human. But if they're never programmed that way, to do that, there's no ability for them to even do that.
I see.
But the thing is, now when we talk about duality of human beings, somebody's going to program them like that.
Wow.
Somebody will do it. Somebody will do it for fighting purposes, for war, for whatever.
Yes.
That is when we are in a scary situation. When somebody programs it to do this and get rid of this, and there's so many things that AI can calculate better than humans. So that's a number one thing that I wanted to follow.
Thank you for that, because that's knowledge for me as well.
The whole, it's so funny because we think of AIs as humans.
Right.
AIs are not humans, right? So they don't have the ability to feel. They don't care if you told an AI just sit there, and if the wind blows at a certain miles per hour, then stand up and block it. Like that's all it's going to do. And then it may think about like, oh, I can stand up faster here to calculate there. But it has an initial, somebody has to create the initial, what it needs to do. So, but like I just said, somebody's going to create to kill humans. It's going to happen. It's just, can we push that off as long as possible, and then or stop it, or have checks and balances in place to where we know how to shut them down. But it may happen where a lot of people will die because of it. When tanks were invented, those things were crazy. A lot of people died because of it. When missiles bombed, nukes, we all know, not a lot of people haven't died because of nukes. Yeah, but there still was an enormous like tragedy, which whether it's reasonable or not to actually do what America did, it happened, you know, and it was still like just so sad that even needed to happen.
Yes. Great point, brother. That's
yeah. So, and then with the feeling, like when you're saying like, what if AI is decided like I said, they don't have a feeling. They don't have a feeling towards anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't like in that instance. I wouldn't. Obviously, they're not going to get hot and
right.
You know, y'all are messing up. You know?
right.
Not that. I'm just saying it in their programming. If that is a logical analysis, like they're like within their,
that's what
like,
they told them,
and they. You know, and they say humans are air. You know, like that's what I'm more referring to.
You're right. No, you're right. 100% on that.
And I guess a follow up question I have for you is, so just obviously with that ability to decide, somebody has to give it that ability to decide. Are we positive, like the people the top people who really deal with this in this concept, are we sure that AI does not have that ability to just go out and branch out? Like, yeah, I made you for this. Are we sure AI can't say, I know you made me for that, but no, I got this information over here now. And I do have that opinion. Now I do have that ability because I taught myself it. All I did was just go read some code, read some information. I know what the topic is now. So can that happen? Because I really don't know.
It's a really good question because I don't know. I don't know if what you're essentially saying is, can it go around how it's programmed? Right. The thing is, if it's programmed a certain way, that's like a law for it. Just like gravity is programmed into like our existence. Yeah. Or like we can't get around gravity, you know, because it's a law of our existence. But for AI,
what if it builds itself a plane?
What?
Just like in that example, you know, we can't escape gravity, but we've built a plane to combat it. In that instance, what if in that instance, right? Like, okay, so for the instance, like killing people or making that decision to kill people is gravity. Would be that AI's gravity.
Right.
We built airplanes to break that law.
To break it.
Not break the law, but to, you know, bypass that.
Yeah, what you're saying is like, can they make a back door? Can
they make airplanes, pretty much?
Yeah, like can they make a back right? This is funny how the tight end. Yeah. Could they make a back door in like around that? Just the like thing is, they would have to be able to think it our way to want to do that.
Okay, there we go. Like,
I don't know if that's true though. That's how to answer it, right? But I don't know if that's true. That's a really good question. I don't know if maybe they could. Maybe I'm thinking about it the wrong way, and they will eventually. Because like their program has to be. For instance, if you programmed an AI and you said, "Hey, I want you to make this world." I want you to make this world's environment better. Like I want you to clean up the environment. So it's base programming, right? For instance.
Right.
And then so the AI is cleaning up and doing the things that's kind of programmed to do, and it has specific stuff. It sprays this stuff and it cleans the air, whatever. But then the AI is starting to learn more and more, and we're getting excited as humans. The AI is learning more and about, I could spray it in this way, and I can come out and I actually can do this and this. And if I stand here and clear up this patch or whatever, this is a lot better for the air. But then it makes that connection. Well, what if this car driving by me, if I just crash them, that's one less vehicle. Ooh. And that's one less. That would be a way that like we would mistake in like setting up their programming to that they would end up killing people. Yeah, and then they kill, and it's like, that lowered the
CO2 emission.
There you go. That lowered the CO2 emission by 0.0001. And now it's like, and then it's like, okay, factoring that in, and moves out. Next car that comes, boom, and then it's like that lowered it, but it starts thinking, and and eventually it's like and then it goes by a big
number
oil field or something, and it's like. Okay. But like, I don't know if it would even have that ability, but that's just like such a good question that I wish I could bring on somebody like an AI, researcher, expert to like ask about. But yeah, man, I think that's like to go back to like your question. That's a really good question. And I have another question for you. Yeah. This is what people get scared about with AI. Another thing. Yeah. And it's something that like, I'm scared of it, but I'm scared because I believe humans are not thinking about it in the right way, and we're a little bit scared, and people are freaking out. Is the job sector? As AIs get more impressive and are able to do things better than humans, there's going to be a point where if researchers or scientists, whoever's creating AI, just drop it, boom, that it will just disrupt the job market. It'll take out every coder. It'll take out this, and this. If companies could buy it, they'll do it, which is reasonable. They should do that because companies are companies. So what's your opinion on its effect on the job market or the job sector with people, tech job being just virtually gone, or whatever jobs, even factory jobs being virtually gone because they're not, the AIs are not going to mess up.
And it's not to a horrific extent, but we already see that happening. I would say that is the most, with all the conspiracy and the theorizing aside, that is the most realistic right now world problem that we're going to have with AI. That's what I believe. Yes, just like you said, and I know you're very business savvy, but if you can, that's why I think even the gender gap is debatable and up for debate, because if women really did get paid less than every man on the dollar, well, then we would have all women employees. Trust me, y'all, these companies are greedy. So I believe,
like, if they were able to do that to women, it would be.
If they were able really to do that, they would do that. And so if they can do that through AI, I believe that they will. Yeah, they definitely will. And again, why wouldn't you? The only thing that I would say that has probably stopped them or may stop them from doing that is the world is going to be burning. You're really going to have hundreds of millions or to billions of people without work and starving. Like, the world's going to end. So, but some people want that. There's some people on this planet that definitely want a smaller population to do what they want to do. So, hey, maybe it's all by design, bro. But that's I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. And I'm writing things down because they'll come to me, and it actually helps organize my thoughts, which is really fun. So what I would say is corporations are super greedy, right? They're going to try to maximize every dollar that they can. Makes sense. But there is a threshold to it because if the population of people that are buying your product or, that are giving you all these dollars are suffering. Now everything will crumble and everything will end up crumbling for you. Unless you're going to live on an island somewhere. But then, society, like, how you're going to have to hunt, you're going to do this. All your money's gone. You're not going to be able to rest a second
at all.
You know what I mean? So for these super rich people, there is a threshold to where, like, okay, we need to, like, not have people just rioting in the streets everywhere because there's no jobs out there. So there is a point where businesses will be like, okay, but, like, we need to back up and hire some people just because, like, these people ain't really gonna do nothing. We need to hire them just so they can get some money so they can buy more of our stuff and buy other companies' stuff.
Destroy capitalism.
So, like, I think there is, like, a threshold to where, like, that will kind of be a cutoff point.
I agree.
But with AIs, this is gonna be crazy. You're gonna be like, Isaiah, what are you talking about? But I want them to completely take over. Here's the reason why. And like, what the heck? The reason for it is you shouldn't stop progression because we weren't smart enough to make correct pathways for future opportunities for people. The thing is, AIs why leave our society behind? Because, you know what I mean? Why leave our society behind? Because we're too goofy to not figure out how to build a better system around these amazing things. For instance, and I'll tell you the exact system I would like pitch. Okay. So first of all, factory jobs typically are very, unskilled. Not all factory jobs, and it's skill in a way, but let's just say unskilled for the sake of conversation. Unskilled jobs, routine, mundane. Most human beings have beautiful minds, creative minds that, as far as right now, AIs cannot match. Right? And plus, what do humans have that AIs do not? Emotion, feelings, families, things that they really, really love to do. There is room for a synergistic relationship between AI and humans. And this is how I would pitch it is, okay, AIs, they're going to take over the business. They're going to take over factories. Let's not stop. And what's going to happen is the amount of stuff that we can do and produce is going to go up, way up, like crazy. Yeah. You know, there's going to be way more, like even you can see like the AIs when they draw and all that. All this stuff is going to be incredible. Yeah. Like that. It's going to be like the boom, like the internet. The internet progressed our society crazy. Yeah. Imagine if we didn't do the internet because, well, the internet's going to take away the internet's going to take away messengers' jobs. Like those people travel 3 miles away to be able to deliver a message. Yep. But now we can deliver a message instantly. And at my job, we communicate people all across the country. You couldn't do that before the internet or before phones, you couldn't do that, and it's way faster with the internet. I can communicate to 10 people all at once on a Skype thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on the phone with 10, typically like back in the day. So we realize now that, oh my gosh, that like it was so archaic back then. Like we couldn't really, So where I was going with that is we needed, but what we have done now is we've developed a system that has helped us avoid potential pitfalls with the internet. Right. We have new jobs. Most of our jobs are service jobs. I don't really agree with probably moving all of the factories out of the United States. Yeah. But we adapted to the changing times. Yeah. Right. That's all we have to do with AI. What we should do is have people own AI machines. Yep. Have individual people and teach people like, hey, just like we moved into service jobs, now you're moving into ownership jobs. Yeah. To where basically maybe 3 months out of the year, you have to know how to do maintenance on the AI. You have to know how to do this, and this. They teach you all in school, blah, blah. Yep. But you own this AI, right? And then once that AI is going to make $3 an hour. Yep. Right. Which would suck if you were working there, but you're not working there. Wow. You're going to own this AI. You're also going to own this other AI. Yeah. And you're also going to own this other AI that works at a factory in Oklahoma and you live in Iowa. Wow. Right? Yeah. So you have three, maybe you even have more. Maybe you have 10 AIs. Yeah. At $3 an hour, that's $30 an hour. And those AIs are all working constantly, don't need to stop. They don't need rest. They don't have feelings, right? So they don't get tired or want to see their family or this or that. And you're making all that money. Guess what you're doing? Living life. Now the jobs are art, design, human design stuff. It's singing, like everything that you've wanted to do, just passion projects. People can actually live. See what I'm saying? There's a very beautiful synergistic relationship that is there. Wow. But we are so scared and so afraid that we won't. Like it's going to be hard for us to get to that point. Yeah. And it's going to be hard for us to change because people will be like, no, I want to stay doing the fact. You're like, bro, no, you don't. Yeah, no, you're just afraid. Yeah. So, wow. And then to cap that all up. Yeah. There will be more opportunities for that person with family. Yeah. And maybe they do have to go in and work in the factory like 3 months out of the year. So if the machine broke, like humans still know how to do something. Yeah. Yeah. But because that's dangerous, by the way. Yeah. So like if the machine's broke, then they know how to do something. Or if they had to shut it off, then maybe 3 months out of the year. Yeah. But imagine 9 months out of the year, you're just with your family going on vacations. You're racking in maybe $30 an hour off of 10 AIs, and maybe you still have another side hustle project, and you're still inventing what you things. Do. Yeah, you can still do what you. Inventing will go up. Engineers will go up. Like everything that you want to do in life will go up. Yeah. That's a beautiful vision, bro. I can't argue with that. I would love that. I think that's very smart. I would argue with you that FBI probably listening to you. Watch out for your phone in about 20 minutes. But besides that, we'll turn it off. Right. No, but besides that, bro. No, they need to just take the idea. That's what they need to do. No, they do. They need to take that. But that's the point, I guess, that I'm going to make. As brilliant as that idea was, got it from the Infinite Storehouse of Intelligence. Right. That 100%. Idea has probably been presented over time to people of power 200 to 300 times. Oh, okay. Yeah. What you do what you do there, with AI, why is anybody still working? Why do we work? Well, right now they're not robust enough to be able to. But yeah, but you know what I'm saying. Like in your example, or if we can, and there's certain things they can't do. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. To this point, but with how they talk about it, especially, I don't know if you've heard of this, but especially with a thing called the CERN machine, which is, I guess, extreme AI. If you can get that, which the CERN machine has already been built, if you can do that. I know about CERN, the particle accelerator, not that one. It's a different one. Well, it is a particle accelerator, but I'll show you the video once we get finished. Okay. But there's a dude, literally the dude from CERN
talks about its dual capability.
I never knew about its dual capability.
Right. Which most people don't, but it's actually very creepy what he had to say. But anyway, just to finish this point real quick. Yes. If it can get to that level, why aren't we doing it? Why isn't AI working? We could all be farmers. We could restore the planet. Everybody could be walking around eating on mangoes,
100%.
sipping coconut water straight up out the coconut. That's the life we could have. And Isaiah just so brilliantly illustrated that for you through positive use of AI. Right now, though, I would say that's not going to happen. It's not happening now, and it never will, because too many wicked people benefit off of this mundane, non-making sense system that we have, in which people literally slave in misery and oftentimes depression until they die, working a job that they hate.
Yeah. So,
and then just real quick, I guess,
keep going.
Concerning the CERN machine, so I can tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know if who exactly he is on a developmental team. I don't know if he's the CEO, but essentially what he was saying is that there can be, and there has been, that out of his mouth, communication with beings or things from a separate place.
What?
Yes. My right hand is to God about this. This is on YouTube. A whole pastor literally put this up here, put that up there for his people to see. And he said, the things may not have the best plans for us as a human race. Or no, he said, we may think that their plans are mean.
Okay.
So
I don't know. I mean, obviously, we have to say that's probably conspiratorial, I would assume.
I mean, yes. I mean,
but the guy from CERN, I'll have to see what.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll show you the video, but that's just another interesting type.
No, but throw it out there. That's interesting. I never. But I mean, people can go research and see what they think for sure. I get because you said CERN. I mean, I know about particle accelerator, and I know some of the cool stuff they've done, like finding the Higgs boson and all that stuff.
See,
but
that's what
I didn't know about. I didn't know about the other applications. I would be interested to see, what that says for sure. Yeah. But yeah, that was fun. That's freedom of thought right there.
Yeah. But
So, and then to go back to one of your points, was you said corporations want people to be in this mundane thing.
Yeah.
If I'm pitching this to corporations, this makes way more sense for you corporations, because this would. The fact of I'm paying an AI $3 an hour, and maybe that figure can't get to initially, but you're paying an AI $3 an hour versus paying a worker at minimum 7 or at some places at minimum 12, right?
Yeah.
That is a great business decision.
Yeah.
For you're $3 an hour versus $12 an hour, and this person has to take off time. They have to take weekends off. They have to go with their family. They will get sick sometimes. There's worker compensation.
Yeah.
They're going to protest. Blah 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 blah. For a corporation, I would pitch this to them that, hey, like, this is going to majorly benefit you.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about OSHA laws and all this stuff.
Yeah.
This should make your lives butter.
Yeah.
And it's going to make the people's lives butter. But again, I mean, what do you think about that? There's
I would say I misspoke. So not corporations. I believe corporations would agree with you and Cheese.
Okay.
Maybe it was more referring to governments or, powers that be. There are, again, I'm not trying to be too, conspiracy. That's just who I am, by the way, anyway. But
that's cool. Hey, freedom of thought,
that's the side I try to err on. But I guess, what was the original?
No, I misunderstood you, because I thought you were talking about corporations not liking it.
Yeah.
But you're talking about the governments not liking it.
Yeah, there's governments, or whatever you want to call it, powers that be, the popular term for them
whoever
right now was the elite, Sneeko and them use that term. But there are people and groups of people that have vast amounts of wealth, that are in vast in numbers, that greatly benefit from the way the world is being ran. And I would say even more specifically, the way the United States is being ran. It is such a lucrative. It is so lucrative for whoever is at the top. If you really sit back and I think deconstruct capitalism, which I know you can all day, whoever's at the top is eating good. And if you really think about the capitalism that we go through and have to try to live with, there's not a fair trade. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's not even anything that's too crazy. Like, I think everybody knows that like, if you're at the top of our system, you're making a bunch of money. I think I think the capitalistic system is probably one of the best in the world, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, far as a system of like money, I mean, that's why everybody switched to it, because it does help the lives of people. But again, like we talked about, that duality.
Yep.
There's a bad side to it as well.
Yep.
And now we know with, you know, that wealth gap, right, between the rich own, or it was like 1% of the population owns 90 something, 90% of the money.
99% of the money. Yeah.
Yeah. Or 99 or 90. I don't know the exact figure. Maybe I can find it. But again, there's a lot of abilities for people to make enough money to be comfortable in our society because of capitalism as well. And the people that are making a ton of money at the top are in a position that's very, very rare, very unique.
Correct.
And something that is, you know, I don't think we've seen any sort of differences. No, that's not true. We've seen a lot of differences in wealth throughout history. Yeah, for sure. It's just a different version of it that we're getting in this day and age. Yeah, that's true. And it's interesting to talk about, for sure. It's interesting to talk about. Yeah. I don't know if I have a very strong opinion either way, because, you know, if you do the right things in life and you are able, and you have, what's hard is you start off enough in a great environment. But a lot of people don't start off in a good enough, there's not enough equity to be able to give people equal opportunities in this life, at least in this country, I should say. Right. And we know that. Right. But if you are in an environment that gives you a fair shot at being successful, you can make enough money to survive and be cool.
Yeah, that's true.
But again, I want to reiterate, because it's very important to say, not everybody gets that fair shot. I can tell you right now, if I grew up, you know, in an amazing home, an amazing family.
Was very blessed.
Very blessed, 100%. Yeah. But there's no way. There's no way if I had to live in some situations that my friends or, you know, people that I know lived in. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way I'm sitting here doing a podcast. There's no way. There's no way. No. There's too many environmental issues. There are too many environmental issues with the way that I would have grown up in that situation. Right. So
correct. I mean, me personally too. I mean, all of my close friends from back home, in our friend group, in terms of, especially amongst the young black men that were my friends and in their friend group, I was the only one with both my parents.
Wow.
The only one. So I just have to really agree with you on that sentiment, and it is tough. I will say that, I would say not the majority of people get all of the characteristics or the trinkets to make capitalism work the way it should. I don't think most people get that ingredient dosage. So,
well, let's be clear. Most people do. There's a certain minority of people that don't.
Right. Let me see.
But it's still a lot of people. Yeah. Still a lot of people.
Yeah, most people do, but most people in minorities, and a certain one, y'all know, you already know, don't.
I mean, we can keep it at that. Right. But no. Yeah. I mean, we're hitting on a good point there. Yeah. And it sucks, bro. And it sucks. Like, when I'm just thinking about it now, that is so sad. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be like that. No. From what I know about, and I'm not the smartest individual ever. You know, I'm not, you know, that smart at all compared to a lot of people. But man, I just feel like it does not need to be this way. It don't. And the thing is, the system, the issues in these communities has gotten so bad to the point that it's creating just generations of problems. Yep. And it's like it's almost built in. Yep. Like it's built in the fail away, you know? Yep. And but again, you know, one thing I will say, and I've talked to one of my buddies about this. Yeah. And he has a kind of he has a different opinion than me. He's more of the pick yourself up by the bootstraps guy. Right. Which I respect his opinion. Mm-hmm. And I agree. You should tell people to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. Right. You should individuals. Right. But if you don't put any economic and any real strategy financially and economically behind the pick yourself up by your bootstrap thing,
you're not doing nothing.
You're not doing nothing. You're telling somebody pick yourselves up by your bootstraps, but they don't even have bootstraps. Yep. Give them bootstraps first and in a lane to walk.
Wow.
Or try to create that lane to pick themselves up. Yeah. And then it might be better. So if you tie those two ideas together, and this is my opinion, I could be wrong. Yep. it might be 3. Financial, you put financials behind it.
Yep.
You get a real strategy behind it.
Yes.
Right?
Like actual plans.
An actual plan, not just talking.
Right.
And then you give that pick yourself up by the bootstrap model.
Amen.
Humans will be successful.
Yes.
Humans will be successful.
Yeah.
You can't tell me those groups, these groups of people that we're talking about won't be successful when they have been successful in tons of other things in their lives.
Come on.
Come on. Quite notably, athletics, sports. You can't tell me like these people are different than anybody else. It's not true.
Singing,
but
all that. No, I mean,
and we don't. What are we dugging about? We just
it's much slow. Yeah. But no, I mean, I again with that, I could not agree with you more, bro. I feel like that's a problem within, especially again, because we are a minority. We're African American men. That's especially a problem within our group. Even internally when we try to fix it. Again, I'm not shading or slandering because something is better than nothing, but most of the time it usually still is just talk. It really offends. I won't say it depends on who says it, but it really offends me when I hear sentiments like, just pick yourself up by the bootstraps. And, even recently, bro, I literally witnessed a TikTok or a short of some black woman literally letting some white man talk about black men and how we're lazy and, all of this type of stuff. Yeah. Completely ignorant and unaware of the situation that most underprivileged black men are in. And this black woman, because she made it out or whatever, maybe just is resentful towards black men, was egging them on up there, praising them. Unless you have seen it, you guys, you have no idea the hell and nightmare that those places are. You are waking up every day, the bottom of the totem pole, being told that you're the only person that gets killed on camera and is seen. You have nothing. You literally have no opportunity. Most of us, and most of y'all out there would probably need a psychiatrist under 5 weeks of unemployment. Picture every day. Your reality is not only that unemployment, you have somebody ready to kill you. You have multiple people ready to kill you because you're all sad and you're all disenfranchised and you're all frustrated. And then on top of that, you have police trying to kill you and look for you, and you're starving. Have any of you guys ever fasted more than 24 hours? Okay, well, try 48 in freezing winter with or
minimal food.
On minimal food. So that's why that sentiment really messes me up. Yes, is there a lot of BS that's still enabled in those poor, disenfranchised communities? Yes, but for the bottom line argument for most people, there's nothing they can do. There is actually very, very little to nothing they can do, and the little that they can do is not going to get people a 401k and an LLC and making them $100,000 like y'all say happens. It's just not going to fly like that. So
right. He kept it 100% real. I don't have. I think that's a beautiful, like the way you articulated it, man. Honestly, because I grew up in situations. Family did pretty well for sure, and I didn't get as many privileges as I've seen other people, but that doesn't even matter to me because I got more than my fair share, more than enough.
Right.
And I think about some of the benefits that I've had in my life. And I'm like, bro, if I didn't have this benefit, man, I would not even be close to where I would be. And a lot of times, bro, it's financial because and I'm not saying money is everything, but when you don't have it, and this goes back to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs that I talked about in the first episode. Yeah. When you don't have that, money is a part of security. If you don't have that security, you can't move up and fix the other rungs. You can't self-actualize. You can't think about everything above the level of security in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs because you're worried about that level of security. And so that causes frustration, anger. And if you think about this happening in generations and generations, and especially a population of people that were slaves at one point. It's tough. And I'm not I want to be clear. I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm not blaming anybody, but I'm saying maybe we need to implore some different strategies. Is it going to happen?
Who knows, bro?
I don't know. Who knows? But Because I mean, there probably has been initiatives that people have tried, but they didn't do the full thing. They didn't do the financial. They didn't do the pick yourself up by your bootstrap strategy.
Yeah.
And then as well as having a real strong strategy in place, at least to my knowledge. And maybe some people have and they just whatever. But
I just want to make a quick. I really love that point that you made with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That is such a like you illustrated that perfectly and beautifully. That is such a great illustration, you guys. Psychologically, you have to understand what he just said is that person is going to be incapable of thinking about anything else because primally, like we're still primal, you guys. We're mammals. That will keep you in an animalistic state. You ever ran into everybody's heard of the phrase "run away from any hungry animal." A hungry wolf or a lone wolf is literally deranged. It's out of its mind. A hungry bear, I don't really have to make or expand too much more on that metaphor, but you have to understand that is the mental psyche that you have with an individual like that. They are in an animalistic state. They are starving and do not have shelter. They're literally in survival. So emotional intelligence, kindness, plans, ambition, what? Nobody has time for that, bro. I haven't had.
He has time for ambitions where you can't self-actualize. You can't.
Come on. So that's why I just wanted to say that was such a great point. You can't. You're not going to fill any job application out and you haven't had 100 calories touch your stomach. Unless y'all want to go try.
Or even that, like, even that. Before that is, that is one. But let's say that even our Fed, it's just the security element.
Right.
Like you're nervous about this and you don't have enough financial security. So if you go and you fill out this job application, you got to get there and you got to have somebody drive you there. And then you maybe got to take the bus back. And it's just there's so much stuff that with me, I go hop in my nice car and I'm gone.
Come on.
And I'm going to the job application. I can apply. I have a computer. What if you don't have a computer? Go to the public library, bro. Walk to the public library and do it. I mean, but now you take up your whole day. What if you have a kid? Maybe let's say you don't have a kid, but
what about the neighborhoods I got to walk through to get there? Then what if I get killed?
100%. And it's not that maybe you don't get killed. Right. Maybe out of, years and years, you won't get killed, but you're still telling your mind that this one time it could. It's constant stress. Just
PTSD.
Bro, it's not the same everywhere, bro. It's not the same everywhere.
Right.
And again, I think a lot of people, even people watching, I think a lot of people understand this and get it.
Yeah.
But, maybe for the few people that haven't thought about it in this way, I think Cross articulated it extremely well. So
thank you, brother.
I give him props on that. And I don't know, man. I don't know if you want to dive into collective illusion. We don't have to.
That's all up to you, my brother.
I mean, we could end on that because that was good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly cool, G. Okay. We can talk about it. We can end on it.
Oh,
yes, sir, bro.
Guys, I think we're gonna end on that. I think it's worth ending on that because that's a good thing to end on. Yeah. And again, guys, this is our opinions or whatever. Take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Stuff like that. But that is it for us. And I know you guys all love Cross. Shut up. I know. I wish we could have him on every time. You guys want to kick me out of my seat. I know. I know what you guys want to do. No, I was kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but that is it for this Zaylee podcast, y'all. Much love to everybody.
Yes, sir.
And make sure to like and subscribe. Right. And then lastly, you know what I'm about to say. If you've been watching, probably not though. We out. Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all hear him, don't y'all?
Y'all hear him.
Hey.
I hope you guys liked that episode. Do you think they liked it, Stella? I don't know. Well, guys, go ahead and you can go ahead and subscribe to our channel or click on another one of these videos so you guys can see more. Say bye to him, Stella. Bark. Bark.